And thank you for inviting me. My name is Samantha Pulido. I'm the Vice President of Operations of Green Meadows Partners. We are a recruiting and staffing company here in Knoxville. We specialize in administrative operations, engineering, and customer service project management positions. So I'm here to help as well.
Well, I would love for Samantha to kind of give her story again because I
It
think
was
it's
amazing.
right. I think that it's fascinating to hear how you started and the path that you went down to get to
Mhm.
where you are today. So, do you mind sharing about
Yeah.
your career journey?
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in Mexico. My husband and I moved to the United States in 2010. And at the time, he was a student and I was his dependent. So in my previous life in Mexico, I'm an engineer by trade in education. So I wanted to find an engineering job when I came here. But I had some roadblocks. I had to be sponsored by an employer and I had to find a way to make it happen. So I started volunteering. Centro Hispano was one of the places that I started volunteering with. The Hispanic Chamber of Commerce existed back then. It's no longer in existence. But I did a lot of volunteering work with them. And one of the things that I learned is, and this can be very helpful for anyone looking for an opportunity or a student looking for work. Networking really works. Even though I wasn't working, I was networking a lot. I attended to all of the networking events that the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce had. I had really good conversations with people because I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to look for a job. I mean, it was a new country, new culture for me. So I had to emerge in the culture and learn. So I did a lot of that, and I can tell you that that was a very helpful tool for me, and it opened doors for me actually. So I started doing that, and of course, at the same time, I was applying for jobs. And I mean, when people tell you you have to knock on 1,000 doors to get an opportunity, it is true. You have no idea how many resumes I sent, how many interviews I had, and how many no's I had as well. Because my challenge was I it wasn't just about the interview. I had to convince them to give me the documents that I needed to be sponsored. So it was very challenging, but I never gave up. I knew that I was gonna find an opportunity, and I didn't care how long it was gonna take. I was very determined to find one. So I was looking for jobs and everything. And my first opportunity was a friend of mine. She was working at a bank back then. I guess she saw me looking and talking to everyone about jobs. And she said, Samantha, we're going to have an opportunity in the bank. It's a customer service position. I know that this is probably not what you were looking for, but do you want to have an interview with the owner? I can't make you any promises, but I can give you an interview. I'm like, please, like, just get me an interview, please. Um, it was actually a Hispanic bank. So I went for the interview and interview with her and the owner, and she said, okay, thank you. We'll call you later. We'll let you know how it went. And maybe a few weeks later, I wasn't even expecting it. A few weeks later, she said, Samantha, I have good news for you. He liked the interview and he's willing to help you. And I worked at the bank. 8 months later, they announced that the branch was closing. Because I had been networking with the chamber, I met a guy that was working at a staffing company. And another 2 weeks later, he calls me and he says, Samantha, are you available to come into the office here and started working with a staffing company? And that's how I started working in staffing. Now, what I was telling you earlier, if I would have known what a staffing company was, I would probably have never applied to the staffing company, to be honest with you. But I loved it. I mean, from day one, everything was different. Like every day was talking to people. matching people with jobs. Of course, I didn't start doing that. I started answering phones and getting familiar with everything. Of course, I mean, new experience, and I was so nervous, but I was just so hungry to learn everything. And yeah, I started there and worked there for 11 years, matching people with jobs, mostly industrial positions. I did every position. A lot of companies here in Knoxville, met a lot of people. I mean, I still go to those companies, and every now and then I see the people that I placed many years ago, and that makes me so happy. So definitely a very rewarding job. I left that company in 2023. That and 2 years ago, we started Green Meadows Partners. So it is Jill Green, Natalie Meadows, and I, and we love it. I mean, we're in the same business to help people. Different rules now. One of the most rewarding things is that we know that at the end of the day, we're helping people get, no, it's not only about helping people get a job, it's about helping people find a way to make their lives happier and easier, because the job and the workplace is the place where you're going to spend most of your time. You're going to see your coworkers more than the time that you see your family most of the time. So we're in this business to help people, and we're very passionate about it, as you can tell.
Yeah. And you are
Absolutely.
definitely an expert when it comes to placing people with jobs. And so one of the things that you were talking about just a minute ago were like the soft skills. How do you assess if someone is has good communication skills or if they're going to have a good attitude? Because you said that's something that employers are always asking for. How do you determine that when you're talking with people that are looking for jobs?
Well, it's funny because everything starts as soon as you walk into the door. I mean, the way you greet the receptionist. Uh, as a recruiter, most of the times, and I call them my tests, my test starts from how you greet the person that is in front of you. Are you being rude to my receptionist? Because if you're being rude to her, that says a lot. So I used to go to the receptionist and be like, "How was the person?" Like she was my first person.
Hmm.
Uh, so how do they sit in the lobby? In my previous job, we had a lobby. So we will be, I was just like, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes I made them wait a little bit just to see like, I mean, how are they behaving? Are they, and I didn't expect them to talk to other people. We had a lobby full of people, but I mean, how is their body language? Are they presentable? Presentation is very important. You
Mhm.
have no idea how many times I saw people wearing sandals. I mean, workout clothing for an interview. So,
Mhm.
and so most of the time they don't know. So one of the things I do want to clarify, my job as a recruiter was I was the middleman between them and the company. So I could coach them. Uh, but most of the times when they go on their own, like those are the things that they need to pay attention to. Like I could see a person wearing sunglasses. I mean, sometimes I saw people, like people were sitting next to me and they were wearing sunglasses or they were on their phone. I'm like, we were having an interview and I've seen people on their phone, and I had to be like, excuse me, like if you really want to have an interview and you want to be successful, please remove your glasses, or can you put your phone away? Like we're having an interview. Communication can be if you're on the phone with them. Sometimes we do phone interviews first. So if you're on the phone with them, make sure you, like, the things that you commit to, you do them. Like when you're on a phone interview, if you're gonna say that you're gonna send the recruiter your resume, or sometimes I ask for a cover letter or something, do it. I mean, that's communication. If you're telling me that you're going to do something, do it. Communication could also be after you have an interview, follow up or send a thank you note. Those little things matter. Those little things set you apart from everybody else. So I mean, those are the little things that we always say after the interview. How are you communicating with me? If I call you to schedule an interview with an employer, are you answering the phone? I mean, are you at least acknowledging that I'm trying to reach out to you? Are you MIA? Some people, a lot of people just don't respond anymore. So how do they expect
Yeah,
to find a job if they're not communicating? So I do a lot of tests before I send them to a client.
yeah.
Um, and it's nothing extraordinary. I mean, it's things like that. Hey, can you send me, after we finish with this interview, would you mind sending me a few references? I would like to do some references on you. Would you mind sending me two references, two coworkers that I can talk to? Sure. So then I'm gonna wait. Are you sending me that information? If you're not, you failed my test. Like
Mhm.
you're not communicating, you're not doing so. Those little things. And of course, when you start working, communication means from day one, if something unexpected happened and you're gonna be late for work, make sure your employer knows. If you're running late, make sure they know. If you have to leave work, make sure you tell somebody. If something is happening in the workplace and you don't agree with, don't go gossip with your coworkers. Go to your supervisor and communicate that and address the situation. So that's when I say communication, it's a lot of things, but they don't start from the minute that you start working. They start from before, way before that,
Yeah.
from the minute you start applying for a job. So those are little things that I try to coach to people. And of course, I mean, not everybody's looking for different positions. But when I see an opportunity to coach someone, I try to do those things. Like, hey, when you go to this client, make sure you like do eye contact. Like, make sure you shake somebody's hand. Make sure you're nice to the receptionist. Make sure, so those little things.
And it's interesting because not everyone goes through like a staffing agency, so they potentially aren't getting that coaching. And
Mm-hmm.
so people may be unknowingly doing things that signal like red flags when it comes to communicating, because to your point, it's not always talking, it's the body language, it's the things
Yes.
that you do and don't do that communicate to employers that you may or may not be a good fit. And so
Mm-hmm.
not everyone is getting that coaching, and a lot of times employers don't give that feedback. And so
Yes.
if you don't
Mm-hmm.
share that information, so thank you so much for being so candid. Like something as simple as being on your phone or wearing the sunglasses or being polite to the receptionist, that speaks volumes even without you or someone using their words. That was
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, because your resume can be the gold star is like, wow, it's amazing. But if the person is not respectful, is not professional, is not showing those
Mm-hmm.
things that everybody wants to see, because who wants to work with somebody that it's not good communicator,
Yeah.
is not a
Mm-hmm.
person who cares about the others. I don't think anybody wants to work with people
Yeah.
like that. We want to work with people, respectful people and professionals.
Mhm.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, the resume is a piece of paper.
Mhm.
I mean, anybody can add so many things to the resume, but you want to have a conversation with the person, not to validate that those things are true, but to get to know the person.
Mhm.
Some of the things that we did at my previous job is we used to take them to lunch, and that was a test too. How are they communicating with the server? Are
Mhm.
they being nice to the server? Are they like those things? Like you said, actions speak more than words.
Yeah. And you can get to where you can read when people are being authentic. I'm sure in your role, you can tell after
Oh
doing
yeah,
it so long if someone's pretending. And it's like we can only pretend for so long, the mask gets heavy, and
yeah,
eventually the true you will show up. And so it's definitely a practice. I think for the participants, one of the things that I want to reiterate is that we may not have all the skills that you mentioned, especially when it comes to communicating. I'm still navigating that, sometimes my face says one thing, but my heart says the other, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or my brain is thinking about something, but it may show up on my face in another way. So there's always something that we can improve on, but it's a practice and it's an
Mhm.
intentionality behind it that requires us to be vulnerable. One of the things that I've noticed about your story is that you have been okay with putting yourself in vulnerable situations when you ask for help, like
Mhm.
networking, even like
Mhm.
trying new things that don't necessarily fit what you think would be the most ideal situation, but you were vulnerable and you were hungry enough to like put yourself out there and try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
those skill sets require us to be like true to ourselves to say this is an area where I need to improve and work on. I'm not going to get
Mhm.
it perfect at first, but if I'm intentional and consistently course correct and come back to it, then it
Mhm.
becomes like a natural habit. So that was so
Mhm.
helpful. Thank you.
Thank
Mhm.
you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in actions, like I said, for one of the things that I pay attention to a lot is, so we're hiring you for this role, right? And most of the times, people stick to their job responsibilities. But if you see that you can help in a
Mhm.
different area, jump in and help.
Yeah.
When I started with this recruiting company, like I was telling you, I was hired to actually I was hired to recruit bilinguals. So my job was to call every restaurant in the world in Knoxville and try to bring bilinguals. And I did. I didn't have a phone like the one that I have now. I think they gave me the yellow pages or jello page. What is the
Oh
name? What are they
God.
called?
Mhm.
Jello pages?
I don't know.
Jello, I don't know.
The phone books. Okay.
That.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I mean, letter R, restaurants. And I was like, okay, Mexican restaurants. And I was calling restaurants.
Yeah.
In Spanish. My name is Samantha, and I'm looking for people. I work at this staffing company. We're looking for bilingual people. Do you know anyone? Do you have a cousin? Do you have a friend? Blah blah blah. And that's how everything started. So I was hired to do that. And then when I saw that the receptionist was out and nobody wanted to be answering the phones, I was like, I'll do it. Like I really wanted to learn. Like I'll do it. And it wasn't fake. It was something that I really wanted to do because one, I wanted to improve my English. So that was going to help me. That was going to get me out of my comfort zone to speak English. And I really wanted to learn how to answer a phone. But you need to show that. You need to be proactive and help in other areas. And I tell this to my son every single day. He's like, his job is to clean the kitchen every night. And he's like, I don't like that job. I'm like, I don't care. Like, you are going to do this, and then when you do this well, I'm gonna. He says, "Do you have another job for me?" I'm like, "No, I don't have another
That
job for
is your
you.
job.
Like this is your job, and when you
Yeah.
master this job, I'm not gonna tell you anything. When you master this job, I'm gonna
Mhm.
offer you another job."
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give you another job just because you didn't like this one. So,
Mhm.
I mean, those are the things that you need to look into. I mean, you need to be proactive and be open to do everything.
Yeah.
If you need to clean the toilet, I mean, jump in and clean the toilet.
Mhm.
Those are the things that are going to set you apart from everybody else.
I love that you said
Yeah.
be proactive and have the mindset because I instantly thought about a season in my life where I had a job, I was doing well at it, but I was getting bored. And
Mhm.
I heard of a position that opened up and I
Yeah.
started to have that feeling of not being content. And so like I was pursuing this other job so hard. I mean, I'm like sending my resume out, asking for referrals, like trying to reach out to the hiring decision maker, like obsessing over it, hyper fixating,
Yeah.
because that's what I do. And I had this moment where I was just like, you know what? I just need to be content with where I'm at. And when I settled that within myself, like I remember the day and the moment I was sitting at my desk and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be content and do my job to the best of my ability. I kid you not, like not even 90 days later, I was interviewing for a similar role at a competitor company. And the job that I was searching, like pushing for so hard, that company went out of business. So the position was posted, but they weren't really hiring anybody for it. And so I'm like, it taught me in that moment that like things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And
Mhm.
if we are intentional about the time that we have now, and to your point about like your son, like learning what we need to learn in that season, when the next opportunity
Yep.
comes, we'll be ready. But it's so easy
Hmm.
to just to not be content. We ask for something and then we get it, and then it's like, okay, now I want
Yep.
something new and shiny. And in reality, there's so many facets of where we are that we can focus on and show up well in
Yep.
communication, punctuality, like just, and it prepares us for that next step. I have a
Yeah,
12.
and it's that's very interesting because uh, I feel like people don't realize that when you do those things, like you're content in a position, but you're looking for more, so you think that looking somewhere else, you're gonna find what you really want and what's gonna make you happy. But what people don't understand or think about the long term is, do they realize that they're gonna start all over again? Like if you start with a company and start doing a little bit of the, I mean,
Mhm.
people are always looking. I mean, everybody, people, your bosses, supervisors. I mean, they see all of those things. They see when there is a like a shine person, like person that is shining. They see it from the beginning. So, but they also, I mean, they also know that you're, I mean, you're building skills in that person. So, my point is, when you are in a position, if you do those things, people are gonna notice it. But if you decide to leave and go somewhere else, that it's erased. I mean, you're gonna erase that experience. So you're gonna have to start all over again from the beginning because you're the new person at the new company. So they don't see that. I mean, like, I feel like that's most of the people are not looking at the future. They don't see long term. But I've seen it so many times. I mean, so many people starting a position, they're happy for a year, if so, and then if they don't get the raise, if they don't get the promotion, if they don't get the title that they think they deserve, they quit and they go somewhere else. For what? To start something again, from zero, from ground zero. So I think that's something that can be taught to people. I mean, look at the future. I mean, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Okay, so you want to be a manager? Okay, we need to start from ground zero. I mean, these are the steps that you need to do before you get there. You'll get there, but you need to stay consistent. So yeah, that's something that all of us can coach people on.
What other tips can you give us to improve that?
So I got a lot of when I did industrial positions, I got that question many times, or phone calls from people saying, "I need more." Okay, what is more for you? Like more money, more hours, more work. Most of the times they needed more money, and so my answer to them would be, have you asked your supervisor if you can do more? I mean, if you want to do more, I mean, does your supervisor know? Do you like the job? Yes or no? If you like your job, have you had a conversation with your supervisor to see if he can give you more hours? To see if he can transfer you to another position. Those were things that I did a lot, especially when you work on like production with production and you work different shifts, or at any company. Have you talked to your boss to see if there is another? I mean, you have skills. I see that. Let's talk about an administrative position. If the person has accounts payable, accounts receivable skills, and she's in an admin position, I would advise that person, have you talked to your supervisor? Have you tried to see if they have another department where you can fit in? I mean, are there any other openings? Why don't you start internally instead of going and applying for a different job? If you like the company and they already know you, why don't you go to them and say, hey, I mean, I feel like I'm at my capacity. I'm looking for advancement opportunities. Is there anything else that I can do? Most of the times, I feel like people are afraid of having those conversations with clients, and I get it. But when you have those conversations, you realize that, I mean, they're human beings. I mean, they have probably been in that position as well. I tell them, what are they gonna say? I mean, all they can tell you is no. And if they say no, okay, let's see if we can find you another job. But why don't you start there first? If you like, of course, if you like the job. So that would be my advice. I always advise people, have a conversation with your employer. I mean, if you like the company, can you do more? Um, Asking for a raise. I mean, if you're in a sales position, they're gonna tell you to sell more. So, I mean, sometimes you have the option to do more. I mean, sometimes, for example, in recruiting, in my previous company, I managed 20 people and they wanted to make more money. Everybody wanted to make more money. I'm like, okay, can you make more sales calls? Because the more sales calls you do, the more clients you can get, and you get more money. So it goes both ways. I feel like sometimes people are waiting for the opportunity to come to them, and we need to create that opportunity. We need to find, and it's a mindset thing. You need to create that opportunity. Not everybody's gonna come to you and say, "Hey, I mean, I was happy today. Here's a raise. Here, do you want a raise? Here." You need to earn it. But you have to have that mindset. Have those conversations. That goes back to communication. Don't be afraid to have the conversation. It is uncomfortable, but that's gonna, I mean, getting out of your comfort zone is gonna is gonna make you grow. So have the conversation. Try to see if a teammate needs some help. If you can help, those things are always going to be seen and are always going to bring you the results that you want. So I don't know. I mean, that would be my piece of advice. We are the people. I mean, we are the people that can make those changes happen.
Yeah, that is so good because to your point, I've been in that seat. It can be challenging to be like, hey, over here, I want more. I'm happy where I'm at. I don't want to leave, but what I have now, I need a little bit more. I need a little
Mhm.
more money. I need a little more flexibility, and whatever that case may be. So it is such good advice to recognize what that need is and to feel confident in asking. And one of the things that has been helpful for me is actually documenting my successes,
Mhm.
because sometimes as we're in the groove of things, we don't always realize that we are checking the boxes, and those are things that are worth celebrating. And so when we
Yep.
go to advocate for ourselves, it's nice to have like a little cheat sheet of all the things that you've
Mhm.
done to say, like, not only am I doing what is required, I have a practice of going above and beyond. And so
Yep.
that was really helpful to advocate for ourselves where you are first, because that matters. The length and the strength of the relationships matters over time. Like you being at your
Mhm.
previous company for 11 years and touching on all of those
Yeah.
different roles, like your previous manager had to have the confidence in you and your skill set and your ability to call you up for this opportunity. And so it's
Mhm.
like, it's nice that you could recognize that and articulate that in such a way that hopefully our participants can receive it, because you starting in staffing as literally like calling the Mexican restaurants from the phone book, like that's so wild to see that 12 years later, now you basically have your own company
Hmm.
and you're doing the thing that actually you probably never thought would bring you joy, but it really has because it's all playing a
Mhm.
picture, like a part of the picture,
Mhm.
which is so
And you're never gonna like all of the things. I mean, there's always gonna be something that you don't like about your job. But same as life. I mean, we're not gonna wake up happy every day. I mean, we're gonna have good days, bad days. I mean, it goes both ways, life and work. So also acknowledge that and understand that not everything has to be perfect. Because I feel like
Yeah.
now, especially nowadays, people are looking for like everything has to be perfect and instant gratification, and if it's not like that, we're gonna go find something else. No, I mean, life is like this. It has ups and downs. So understanding that is also part of it. And another thing that I was gonna say is, all of the clients, owners, supervisors, they're looking for potential. So don't be afraid to have those conversations, because if they know that you have skills and they have identified those things, they are going to want to keep you. Nobody wants to lose a good employee. So don't be afraid to have those conversations because most of the times, good employers will even make or create a position for somebody with good skills because they want to keep the person. It's more expensive to hire new talent and train them and do the onboarding and everything than to create a new position for an existing a good employee. So yeah, I mean, I would challenge everybody to change the mindset and see things in a different like that. See things from a different perspective.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. I was just talking to a coworker yesterday about how expensive it is to hire people. Like, I think the research says it's like thousands of dollars to hire a new
Mhm.
person, and so it's cheaper to keep them.
And
Yeah.
you don't know. It's a gamble. I mean, it may
Yeah.
be you may hire a good person or may not. So I mean, if you already have somebody that you trust and you know is a good employee, why would you not want to keep that person?
Was one, the advocating for yourself, but for creating relationships and getting
Hmm.
mentorships and mentors and sponsorships.
Hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
someone in the company or even outside the company that had a voice that upper leadership would hear to advocate for
Mm-hmm.
you. So Samantha, in your role and in your experience, how would you encourage our participants to find mentors within their current roles or even like networking to get
Mm-hmm.
outside of their current company, but maybe find a mentor outside of that? And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that mentorship leads to a sponsor, someone who can speak their name into rooms
Hmm.
because we all know that it's sometimes not necessarily what you know, but who you know. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
very easy to overlook, especially if you haven't been in a professional space for a while
Mm-hmm.
or ever.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think everybody should have a mentor. And I don't think there's a specific process to find a mentor. I mean, it can start with your supervisor. If it's someone that is really, you feel like is really trying to help you. I mean, you know those things. You know when it's genuine. You can tell, you can feel it. So, I mean, I would start with that. I mean, if your supervisor is someone that you can that you admire and that you like the way he communicates with people and just his personality and stuff like that, I would just say, hey, I mean, can I ask questions? I mean, you probably don't have to. If you want to, you can ask the person, can you be my mentor? They'll be, I mean, they'll be happy to say yes and to do that. But if not, just like observe those people. Like what do they do? What are their habits? Like try to not to be the same person, but just pay attention. Like okay, so he has these conversations. Like how do they react to a specific situation? Pay attention. So of course you can ask the person and say, "Hey, can you be my mentor?" I mean, I would be so glad if somebody, so happy if somebody comes to me and says that. I mean, I would be honored to help that person. But if you don't have that relationship yet, just observe, and that doesn't even have it can go. I mean, you can find a mentor anywhere at a networking event, like you said. I mean, you can find a person that you really like or admire and ask them to go to lunch with you. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe once a month. Hey, can we go to lunch and just talk about things, talk about life? That's how you learn. At work, it doesn't have to be your supervisor. Sometimes we used to. It was we called it a buddy program. So we used to pair somebody, a new employee, with an existing employee so that he could, I mean, the new person could know someone and that person would be like the guide within the company. So that's another thing that they can do. Find that teammate that they can see the value that that person brings into the job and just like ask questions. Hey, can we talk about this? Can you help me? I'm struggling with this thing. Can you help me? I think that's very important. Like having a mentor, and you don't forget those people. I
Mhm.
don't forget the people that have helped me and the people that have been my mentors. And it doesn't have to be a verbal. Sometimes, I mean, I don't think my mentors know that they were my mentors. I mean, we never we
Yeah.
never said, okay, you're my mentor. Yes, I'm your mentor. Okay, shake hands. I don't think we did the the formal introduction, I just know it because I started following and paying attention to their behaviors.
And there's
Yeah,
research
that's
that
true.
says if you have friends at work, you're more productive at work. And so even like you said, the buddy system, having someone at work that you could like bounce ideas to with each other or get feedback from, that's maybe even lateral, same role, same position, but just a different perspective, that really does go a
Hmm.
long way. Okay, I
Yeah.
know I don't know how much time we have left, but I wanted to say something about you were talking about communication and you were talking about the sandals. We talked about the sunglasses, but I wanted to hear, like, from your perspective, a lot of times communication is nonverbal. It's our body language, how we show up. What is like, what tips would you give our participants about like showing up as their best self when it comes for like interviews? Maybe
Hmm.
like interview attire? Like, do you have any suggestions about that? And you made a comment before we started recording about being able to tell about resumes like in three
Oh,
minutes.
yeah,
So
that
three
is very
seconds.
important.
So I wanted to hear like
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
perspective on professionalism when it comes to our appearance and some tips about resumes.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's so easy for me, right? Because I see it every day. But one of the things that we do or that I do with people as well is we prep them for the interview. And part of the prepping, part of the interview is giving them the names of the supervisors, direction. I mean, of course, job information, job description, and all of that, but I go over the attire that they need to wear for the interview. Like if you're working with a recruiter, ask questions. I mean, ask what should I wear for the interview. But what I always tell them, or what I would say to people that are not using a recruiter, is research the position. I mean, what is the position? Read the room and learn about the position in the company in advance. If you're interviewing for, let's say, manufacturing operations manager, I'm not gonna tell you to wear, I mean, a suit and a tie because you're gonna be in a warehouse. So I would tell that person, okay, wear jeans and a polo shirt, or wear khaki pants and a polo shirt. If you're interviewing for a vice president of finance at a bank, wear a suit and a tie. If you're applying for a customer service position at a call center, I would say just make sure your hair looks good. Make sure I mean, if you're wearing jeans, that's fine. It's customer service, it's call center. Make sure your jeans or pants don't have any holes. I mean, and I mean, just look presentable. I always say business casual. I mean, business casual will go away. I mean, it's always gonna work well for companies. If an interview is on a Friday, like I usually ask my client, like how, like, do you have any special dress codes for Fridays? Most of the companies have, like, where you can wear jeans on Fridays. So I tell my person, so you're gonna interview on Friday and they do jeans on Fridays. So make sure, I mean, you can wear jeans, it's fine. You can wear jeans and a nice shirt, like on Fridays, like business casual, but wear jeans. So things like that. I would say, ask the recruiter, or ask that if you're not going through a recruiter company like ours, ask the recruiter at the company. I mean, it's that actually says more a lot about you because you are interested in the position. So don't be afraid to ask, because the recruiter is the person that is, even if it's at a company, he or she is the person that is connecting you with the hiring manager. So ask questions. Okay, who is my interview with? Who am I gonna talk to? Is it gonna be just the president or the vice president? Am I gonna talk to a group of people? Can you tell me what is the attire for the interview? If somebody asks me those things, I'm gonna be thinking, oh, he's very interested in the job. Like, he's asking questions. So don't be afraid, because there is no right or wrong answer. Every company and every interview and every position is going to be different. I would advise, my advice would be whoever is scheduling the interview, even if it's with the president of the company, what is the attire of your company? And mimic that.
Mhm. That's so
Okay.
And
good.
then you said something else about, what was the other thing that you mentioned?
The resume.
Yeah, we were talking about swiping, and you said I can tell with a resume within 3 seconds if it's like gonna
Yeah.
good fit, like jokingly, but some tips about how to make a resume stand out.
So I wouldn't say stand out. I would advise people to apply to the positions that they have the skills for.
Mm,
Most of the times, I'm not going to spend time looking at a resume, and I see this all of the time. If I have a customer service position open and I see somebody that has general labor experience, I'm not gonna talk to that person because I'm looking for customer service. So key words. I mean, if you're looking for, and it's okay to have a resume. If you have experience in A, B, and C, it's okay to make a resume for the position. So if you, for example, if you're applying for a customer service position, make sure it shows on your resume. So words that I'm looking for as a recruiter: customer service, um, something related to customer service. If I see, I don't know, forklift driver, that's, I mean, and I don't see customer service in the first 3 seconds, I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna move on to the next. So, and I think that comes with experience. I mean, with years of experience, maybe at the beginning, I mean, it took me 30 minutes to look at a resume and hesitate if the person was a good match. But now I have the experience. And now I can see, I'm looking for keywords, and I'm looking, and I'm also seeing like this person, like he's just applying for anything. Like I can tell those things in 2 seconds. Like if somebody doesn't have the experience, he's just applying to everything. A question that I ask, and this is something that your students or people that come to you can remember: learn about the position before you start talking to the recruiter. My first question is, what position were you interested in? That shows me if you did your research about the
mhm.
position, what do you know about the position? And are you talking to me because you know what you're doing, or are you just talking to me because you don't have a clue?
Yeah.
And most of the times they were there, and they're like, I know, like in I know, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was applying for a bunch of positions, and I can remember. So, I mean, again, are
Mm,
you really interested in the position? So those, going back to communication, like those things in the greeting to the receptionist, those little things, I mean, can show immediately. So those would be my examples about how to dress for an interview, and how to make a resume. There is, and also, I mean, make it look professional.
yeah.
I mean, and nowadays there are so many apps that can help you create a resume. I mean, I don't think people should struggle anymore. Don't fake it, of course, but make sure it has the information, and it shows the skills that apply for the position. Because if not, you're wasting your time. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you're just wasting your time.
That's so good. And of course, if you need help with your resume, we have the wonderful Marlena who can
Uh-huh.
help
Yeah,
you with your resume. So
yeah, yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Samantha. I don't know if you want to add something else or any final
No, thank you
words.
for inviting me. I mean,
Thank
I can talk
you.
about this all day long, so we can schedule another session in the
Oh,
future.
yes, we
I
will.
would love to, but no, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been my pleasure, and I'm here to help as well. If you have any clients that need guidance, I mean, I don't only talk to people for job interviews, like to send them for a specific client. I'm always open to help people. If they need guidance with a resume, I know that Marlene, you do that. But if they need like mock interviews or something just to practice with someone,
Yeah.
please feel free to reach out to me as well.
that's fantastic. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, thank you, Samantha. And I'm gonna share your email in case
Mhm.
that somebody asks for your information. Thank you so much. Thank you, Delia, for being here. It's always such a pleasure to just have this brainstorming ideas and conversations to help our beloved participants. So thank you so much.
Yes.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you.